Hi folks, it's time to start this little series I want to begin called Raiders of the Lost Christmas Carols. We got a lot of good Christmas carols, and I'm sure you know Joy to the World, O Little Town of Bethlehem, Silent Night, the ones that you hear in church or at the mall. But hey, I want to talk about the lost Christmas carols, the ones that are forgotten, the ones that you don't know about, the ones that are better than the ones that you're singing at the mall. So anyhow, the first one we're going to go on is called All My Heart This Night Rejoices. It goes like this. All my heart this night rejoices as I hear far and near sweetest angel voices. Christ is born, their choirs are singing, till the air everywhere now with joy is ringing. The second stanza is the one I want to focus on right now. Forth today the conqueror goeth, who the foe, sin and woe, death and hell o'erthroweth. God is man them to deliver, his dear Son now is one with our blood forever. There's a lot of good stuff in this stanza. This is the first stanza that I wanted to choose. I want to focus on because it is loaded with good material. So we got here, the conqueror is going forth. Who's the conqueror at Christmas time? Who's coming forth out of his chamber, out of his throne room, into a place where is part of his kingdom? It's Jesus. He's coming out of heaven down to earth to overthrow the foe, sin and woe, death and hell. In the original German language, this hymn, it doesn't list sin and woe, death and hell. It just says he comes to tear the world out of misery. And in this English translation, it lists, well, what are our miseries? It's our problems, our sin, our woe, our death, and hell. You know these are the problems, don't you? And if we solve these problems, we can solve everything else. If God solves these problems, he's going to solve everything else. It's our job to believe it and to jump on. God is man to deliver. God is, as the Gospel of John says in the first chapter, in the beginning, the Word was with God, and the Word was God, and the Word became flesh and dwelt among us. God becomes man to benefit man. And here's the big kicker, the wonderful line in the last part of the stanza here. His dear Son now is one with our blood forever. Jesus Christ, this baby born in Bethlehem, because he truly is someone who has come down from heaven, someone who has come down from out of this dimension, in fact, from the Creator, becoming part of the creation. He is binding himself to our imperfect, mortal nature. God and man have become one in Jesus. And by the way, Jesus is the only one who has ever done that. You will not find another religion that teaches God's child has bound himself to the human race to benefit the human race. Sure, you're going to find pagan mythology about how Zeus had some relations with a woman, and they had some offspring, and the offspring was half human, half divine. We're not talking about that. Zeus was not God. He is a god. Ask the mythologists. Zeus was not God. He was a god. Plus, the mythology of those gods didn't have a true beneficence to the world. Their business was not in saving the world. Those old gods had business with each other and in getting satisfaction of their own desires. The true God, the one you know is the true God, is the one who has sent his son Jesus, and that's why we celebrate Christmas. And because he is one with our human race, wherever Jesus goes, I'm going to go. If he goes to the cross and he suffers and dies, guess what? That's where I have to go too. But if God calls him out of the tomb to live forever in an incorruptible life, that's where I want to go too. And because he has bound himself to me, and I have not bound myself to him by any means, I am going where he is going. I believe it. Do you believe it too? That's what our hymn says. Join us next time so we can do this again for the next one. Thank you. God bless.